Well, hello, hello. I am just setting up here so I can see you all on my laptop, but I just want to thank you for joining me for lunch today. This is Creating with Colleen, where I'll teach you what to do. I may teach you what not to do, but I do promise to teach you something. So we'll give everybody just a minute to come on. Oh, the shadows are terrible today. I have to do something with my lighting. Let's see if that makes it better. Nope. Okay. Well, hopefully you'll be able to see everything right here anyways. Today, I am coming to you live. I promised you the entire month of November that I would be creating with the Curvy Celebrations Suite. So each week I'll go faster and faster over what it is, but in case you missed the beginning, this is the Quite Curvy bundle. So it's actually the stamp set and the dies, and this is going to be carrying over into the new 2021 mini catalog. So this you can purchase now. It's kind of an early purchase. I love to get things early. I hate to wait. And this is the only way you can get the dies at the moment, is with this bundle, the two together. Now, as I said, they will be carrying over into the new catalog, and at that point you can purchase them separately, but the good news is by purchasing it now as a bundle, you're going to save 10%. So you have these gorgeous curvy dies, you have the stamp set, of course, and then these are the images that would be cut out in your stamp set. So that is the bundle. Then what will not carry over is the Curvy Christmas stamp set. This is what I'm going to be using today because I love these stars. Well, actually, I love the trees. I love everything about it. But you can purchase this now through January 3rd. The Curvy Christmas is available, and of course, it coordinates with our awesome curvy dies. And then also the designer paper. So the designer paper is a 6x6 paper stack. It's 48 sheets. 3 colors. You have Shaded Spruce, Sahara Sand, Cherry Cobbler, and then Whisper White. So you have all of these beautiful designs. I put the designs going vertically in the different colors. So again, the designer paper and the Curvy Christmas are only available now through January 3rd. So don't wait. So I've showed you how to create a couple different cards. We went in the other videos. We did use the original bundle. We used the poinsettias last week. And today, I just saw an American flag with this. So I want to show you how to create this card. And I do mean it is fresh off the press. Last week I promised that I would not wait till the morning of to create, and I had to eat those words today. So we probably will be creating with the stars some more next week. Hey, Barb, I'm glad you could join in. I'm going to show you how to make a flag. We are not a military family. My father served in Okinawa years and years ago, but I have the utmost respect for those who defend my freedoms, and I would be forever grateful. So let me show you how to make this card. Basically, your parts are, you're going to have your back piece, which is a piece of Night of Navy, and that is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Well, let me leave it on here. Some people like to see it all at one time. Okay, because then you could pause me, cut your pieces, and come back. For the the background of the star, that is a square of 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And I don't know if you could see it or not, but I actually embossed it. I need that texture, but I actually embossed it with the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. And it was subtle enough to where it wasn't taken away from the star, but again, I don't know if you could see it. It just really added a lot to the card. So if you can't see it, trust me, it's a great folder. Now for the flag, you are going to need a piece of Whisper White that is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, and then you are going to score this at 4 1/4. So that is the white part, and I'm going to show you how I cut this. In addition to that, you're going to use, I used the designer paper. I actually created it with the dots, and then I said, wow, let me try with those stars. Kind of seemed appropriate. So you are going to cut 3 strips, probably about, maybe a ½ inch or so wide. I never did measure it. It looked like 3/4 to me. Okay, 3/4 is right. Should trust my eye. I was a drafter for many years. About 3/4 thick. And again, I'm going to show you quickly how to do that too. So let me put these aside. When you are using the die, the one that I did, who's this? Julie. She said she's retired military and some friends, and I make cards for soldiers. Excellent, Julie. Well, to me, this is the perfect card to make. And I do think I'm going to actually try to make it into a Christmas card, but I think you could use it for any occasion. When you are, excuse me, when you are looking at the curvy die, what you have to remember is there is a cut edge and then you have your dots. So if you put the cut edge at the bottom, you're going to have your dots on the top. If you do it this way, again, just watch where your cut edge is. They'll be on the top. So for example, for my Whisper White, I wanted the cut edge only. I didn't want the dots. So I would not do it like this because the cut edge is here and my dots are here. So that's why I'm flipping it this way, because what I really want is this cut edge first. The dots are below it, so I'll be fine. So when you cut this, it is 5 1/4. So I get this edge on the side, but I left it longer because I'm trimming some of that off. So again, I gave you the measurements in the beginning, but it is 4 1/4, 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, right there. So let me cut this one for you. I always have to stand up when I do my die cutting. And I have so many things here. I have lights, I have cameras. Hoping I can make all this work and you can see it all. Okay, so here's my die. And again, I'm going to cut it at the same time. So I have this folded. I'm going to put it down. And again, I want the cut edge on the top. So I'm just going to put it on the edge here. And I always use that Post-it note. Something this long is going to be slip sliding around. So see how it's going to go off the edges. Let me put it here. But you can see I'm just really close to the edge. So I'll put it on here, put on my Post-it note, put my top plate on, and then gently slide this through. Sorry about the shaking. So then, when I pull this off, you can see I have the clean edge, which is what I wanted. Now, when I cut my strips, I didn't worry. You know, I told you they were about 3/4 inch wide. I think it's a pretty forgiving card, so I really didn't measure it. But there again, I am wanting, let me make sure I get these right. Okay. The first time I put this down, let me see. Okay, I'm going to go this way. So I'll put this down, and I'm really just cutting strips. And it's longer than what I need, so again, I can trim my edges off to get it nice and even. So I'll put my Post-it note down. Works best when you put the sticky side there. Slide my plate in. So that's my first cut. Okay, and I did that primarily to get my edge. Now, the paper gets in these little dots, so instead of like trying to poke them through every time, literally, I just slap it, if you can see that. I slap it on my table and they fall out. It's great. So now I just kind of eye it in here. I look at it and I say, yeah, that looks like about 3/4. Put this on. And then I run it through. Okay, because the first piece is you're going to throw away. But see how I have this second piece now? So then I'm just going to do it again. I already have my curve there. Slap my die. Going to put it on here. And you can, you know, make all your strips. If you're doing multiple cards, you can definitely make all your strips the way you want them. So I put this on here. And then I run through. And that is how I start doing the strips for the actual card. So let me put this aside. As promised, I'm going to make it with the stars because I wanted to see what that would look like. So let me come back to my card. Okay, so here I have my card. Now with this one, I had not stamped on it. And I thought, well, what if I did want to say, thinking of you at Christmas? What if I wanted to make this a Christmas card? I'm going to stamp first because you don't know, you know, that might be a little snug to put my words in. Whereas if I stamp first, I can then layer my strips on up. So whenever you stamp on something folded, always open it up. Because if not, and you're trying to stamp like this, it's going to smear when you push it down. So I'm going to open that, and with the Night of Navy, I am going to take from the Christmas set, the one here, the Thinking of You at Christmas. So I will lightly tap, put it on here. It's kind of hard when your head isn't right in front of it, but close enough should count. So there I have my Thinking of You at Christmas. And I can see she's staying just a little wet, so I got to be careful. Now when I put my stripes on, now I don't have to worry about that being too tight. So what I'll do is I'll take my adhesive. I have the Stamp and Seal somewhere, the new tape that we have, and I cannot find it. Last I remember was we went to the mountains and I was stamping in the car, so I guess I should look there because I have looked all over the stamp room and can't find it. So I ordered a couple more because after all, isn't it crazy that I would only have one? So as I said, I made them longer so I can really get the curves to go right. So I pushed that down. I shouldn't have. I always tell you, get everything where you want it first and then push down. So I'm just going to lightly tape this one. And the reason I say lightly, because typically what I do is I like to put my top and bottom on, and then I can make the one perfect in the center. So here is, these are my stripes. So I like this one, and I like this one. And I think I got pretty lucky, but as I said, you can always do the top and the bottom, and then you can line this one up. Perfect for the inside. Now, typically I would go over to my trimmer and trim those off, but just for this sake, you can actually just take your paper snips and trim these. Throw them on the floor, turn it around, and trim again. Okay. So here I have the makings of my flag. I'm going to put them on the 5.5 by 4.25 background. Like so. But I just loved it. I was laying in bed last night just thinking, I know I can make a flag. Just know it. Just see the red, white, and blue. And of course the cherry cobbler that comes in this designer pack is perfect with your Night of Navy. So now when I go to make my little square, again, it was 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And then I paired that with and embossed it with the Dainty Diamonds folder. The dies that I am using for the stars, thankfully carried over from last year. They were amazing. They, right here, are the stitched star dies. And there are 23 dies in this set. So I didn't make one of those sheets that show them to you. But again, I think I'm going to try to keep creating with it next week because I just did not finish. But see how all the stars are stitched and layered? And then they have these beautiful little pieces that can accent your stars. And then what I love is there's this curvy one. This is my favorite and what I want to play with next week. And actually it makes a die like this. I did start creating a second card, and then I was like, oh, just slow down, Colleen, slow down, because I want to really play with that one. But again, here is in the gold foil, and that's what this cuts out. And I just think it makes a beautiful scroll. So when you cut them out, again, there's a little one in there. I really like it because it's stitched. So this little bitty star, that is the tiniest star. And then of course there are bigger ones, but they're all stitched. So I kind of had a dilemma. I said, all right, how am I going to do this top? I could do the one star like that. Kind of reminds me, I think it's a star of Texas. I mean the flag, right? Don't they have just a single star in their flag? So I could do that. So if I did, of course, I would put my little star, stitch star on a dimensional. And I'm going to make this first, and then we'll have to decide which one to put on. So I could do it straight, but I'm always very symmetrical when I'm, I kind of like it straight. Probably because I was a drafter and I like symmetrical. Hey, who knows? But you can turn it this way. When you make your cards, you can make them any way you want. I always tell everyone. Now, when I cut out these other pieces, I mean, I even had these little bitty stars. And actually, I should have my, let me show you what I should have. My picker tool. You grab that. Some things you just need to make it easier to do because you can. This is a picker tool, and it has this little gummy end here. So I could just pick these up and tape them down if I wanted, and put in different stars. So I could do that. Or one of the things that I did was I also just cut them. I cut them out of the Night of Navy because they're stitched, and then they have the little stars here. And then to make them white, instead of having to try to glue the little ones on, I can just put this behind there. And then if I want, I can do that. So, decisions. Should I? Maybe if I don't put a lot of tape, I can always change it. I think I really like the bigger star though. But I think that's pretty cool too. What do y'all think? Do we have any comments out there? Because again, to put it on here and have that white show through instead of having to put all the little stars on, I just put some adhesive and just cover them all up at one time. There, and then I have those. So I could do that. The other thing that I have here, these are the Star Designer elements, and these work wonderful with the, they work wonderful with the Christmas tree and the punch that we have, and the little one. So I could put one of those on there, but Marilyn says she likes the bigger star. So we'll go with the bigger star, and this time we'll do it symmetrical. So I'm just going to tape this on right in my corner. And again, since I have these, I absolutely love them. And you get 42 a pack. So you get a lot. It's this beautiful little brass star. And that is how you would create a patriotic card using the Curvy Dies. So I am still creating. I think I still have, let me see, I think I still have 2 weeks. I don't want to rush this month too much. I still have 2 weeks going into this that I am, really focusing on the Curvy Celebrations dies. And I am going to still play with these stars because they're some of my favorite. But now that I see this, I love that. I love thinking of you at Christmas. What a perfect Christmas card. Julie, thank you to your family for serving. And I think that would be a really quick, easy card to make. Because if you did all your big shot work up front, you would be able to just go from there and work from there. Now let me show you, I did real quick, like 10 minutes before, do another one. Now this one, this is more typical Christmas, but again, it showcases those beautiful stitched stars. And here in the Christmas stamp set, what I really like about it is that everything, again, all these stamps work with those curves. So this card I had not finished, but again, you can just, I need to put something up here, but basically you could see how the trees follow this beautiful curve with the designer paper. And then the same here. Even though the paper has whisper white, I liked the softness of the very vanilla. So I took the star stamp, put some Versamark and some gold embossing powder, and just went ahead and embossed that. May your days be merry and bright, with a couple of the stars popped up on dimensionals. So if you are loving this Curvy Celebrations suite as much as I am, you can purchase it on my blog. Just go to creatingwithcolleen.typepad.com and hit shop now. You will be able to do it. I do believe the designer paper is on back order, but it is coming in the first week in December. So trust me, with Thanksgiving and everything else going on, it'll be here before you know it, but everything else is available and you can order it. And as soon as it comes in, hopefully sooner, Stampin' Up! Will mail it to you automatically. So I hope you enjoyed my cards today. I have to say I had a lot of fun making them. What paper did I use? Okay, let me ask my questions. Barb, what I used, this here is the Classic Christmas. So this designer paper, again, comes in the suite. You can order it separately, but you just ordered it yesterday at Stamp Club. So you're getting this pack of paper. So you have everything you need to make these cards. But it is, again, soft suede, cherry cobbler, Sahara sand. So that's what I used. And then I used Night of Navy, because that goes perfect with cherry cobbler. And then on the Christmas card, it of course is the shaded spruce, and then the shaded spruce solid cardstock. I love how all of our colors coordinate, whether it's a designer paper, a ribbon, the embellishments. I really, really think Stampin' Up! Makes creating so much easier than trying to run around and find things that match that ultimately don't match. So let me see if we have any other questions. I think we're good. But thank you for joining me today. You gals know I love lunch and I love having lunch with you. So do something creative today. It's a chilly day in Virginia. Of course, the Northerners would think it's a spring day. It's about 46, but I love it. You know, it's mid-November. It's time to bring on a little bit of the cooler temps. And again, thank you for joining me. Any questions, please let me know. Please private message me. Again, you can go to my blog and you can even request my newsletter. I also send my videos in a newsletter with extra specials and tips. So thanks again. You all have a blessed day and God bless America. Take care.